What's going on? Welcome back to 100% NUFC. Sharky speaking. I hope you're all doing really well. So this is the video that you've all been waiting for, and that is my Premier League predictions for the 2018-2019 campaign. I'm super excited. It's only a week and a bit away before the big kick-off for ourselves at St James's Park against Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this is just going to be my opinion, where I believe every Premier League club will finish from position 1 to position 20. Feel free to leave all your predictions and comments down below. They're all welcome on this channel. Now, we're going to start off with position 20, and this is the relegation zone. The 3 teams that I believe will go down. So in 20th place, I'm going with Cardiff City. Now, Cardiff City have just come up from the Championship under Neil Warnock. You know, they've done really, really well, considering that they were favourites to finish in the relegation zone last season in the Championship. Now, they have spent this summer, you know, have brought in the likes of Josh Murphy, and they don't exactly have good strength and depth. They don't exactly have the most experienced squad in the world. They don't exactly have a lot of money. That's the reason why I think Cardiff City, for me, will get found out in a lot of games. I mean, don't get us wrong, clubs will find going down to Cardiff very tough. It is a long journey as well to get beat, but I just don't think they're going to have enough this season to stay up. In 19th place, I'm going to go with Crystal Palace. Now, they've done well to escape the drop last season. I remember at the start of the season, there were 7 points behind 19th place when they appointed Frank de Boer. Now, Roy Hodgson came in, he steadied the ship. Now, I haven't really been impressed with Crystal Palace over the course of this summer. There has been interest in Wilfred Zaha meant to be leaving the club. If he does leave the club, I think they're going down, in my opinion. They have, kept a hold up to now, but they haven't really strengthened. Roy Hodgson apparently said in his press conference that he is a little bit concerned that Crystal Palace will be down there next season, and that doesn't fill me with any confidence that they're really going to kick on as of next season, but I hope I'm wrong. Now, to finish in the relegation zone, the last spot, the 18th, is going to go down to Huddersfield. Now, Huddersfield, for me, they've done well to stay up last season. I backed them to stay up, and David Wagner done a really good job. The crowd, were always getting behind the squad. Every time, when I went down there with Newcastle when they beat 1-0, there was a first game, there was a good vibe about the place, and yeah, they have signed, a couple of decent players like Eric Durm from Borussia Dortmund, but can Huddersfield sustain, what they were doing last season? Can they stay in the Premier League? Can they win games at home? Well, that remains to be seen. I just don't think they will. I think they will get found out. I think a lot of clubs did suss them out towards the back end of the season, and they were getting beat in games where they shouldn't really have got beat. So for me, I'm going to put that down to Huddersfield to finish in that last relegation spot. Now, just to survive relegation in 17th place, and that is going to go to Watford. Now, Watford, they had a really good start of the season under Marco Silva, and then, with the Everton link, it really went downhill from there. Richarlison was, for me, their best player, scoring goals, left, right and centre. I remember he scored a really good goal past ourselves at St James's Park when the beat were 3-0. Then he got sacked, and then it just all went downhill from there. Yep, they did manage to steady the ship towards the back end of the season, yes, but the middle part, they struggled. They finished around about mid-table, if I'm not wrong, and I don't know if they've sold Richarlison, which I think was a big mistake. Yes, it was good money, but he was their best player. He was good at the start, tailed off towards the back end, but I reckon if they kept a hold of him, he could have been a pivotal player for them next season to try and really kick on, but because of that, they haven't really got that that quality really to really show what they're about. And not Crystal Palace, Watford are that sort of team where they'll sack the manager, if it's not all going too well. Now, in 16th place, I'm going to go for Burnley. Now, Burnley had a fantastic season, finished in 7th, showing that they can do it, over all the odds. Everybody was backing them to get relegated. I did. I had them to finish 20th in the Premier League, so you can laugh at us. Yeah, all the Burnley fans there, I got something wrong. Burnley, for me, good squad. Next season, or this season, they're going to be battling with Europa League, so I think it's going to be tough. We finished 16th and we battled with Europa League, and I think with Burnley not having that European competition for so many years, that's what their aims will be next season. But I still think they'll have enough with the squad that they've got to stay in the Premier League. I think they will be, they're thereabouts. I think they will be battling relegation, don't get us wrong, but I think they'll just have enough to stay in the Premier League, and I think 16th is a fair shout considering that they've got a battle with Europe. Now, in 15th place, I'm going to go with AFC Bournemouth. They've done so well to stay in the Premier League for how long they have, the last 3 or 4 seasons, and Eddie Howe's done a fantastic job. I think they just finished behind us on goal difference in 11th place. And, they've got a really good squad. They're playing at the Vitality Stadium. It's always a tough place to go, to go and get results. And Bournemouth play some really good, attractive football. A bit like Cardiff, it's a long way to go to get beat, especially all these southern clubs. And Eddie Howe is pivotal to them staying up. Now, Bournemouth don't spend a lot of money. They have got some good players, but for me, I just don't think they're going to be, doing anything interesting next season. I think, staying in the Premier League for Bournemouth 15th is good for them, because for a club like Bournemouth to have Premier League football, it's key. In not having the biggest squad, not having the biggest stadium, not having all the best facilities in the world, they've done well, and I still predict that they will do well this season. In 14th place, I'm going to go for Brighton & Hove Albion. A lot of people have got them to go down. I think they'll be all right. I think the Amex is a tough place to go to get a result. They've got a good squad. Chris Hughton knows what he's doing. He's got some Premier League experience, and a bit like ourselves, Newcastle United, they'll be there. They'll be judged on winning home games, and I think they'll be fine. I think if they can get a few more additions in, I think they'll be absolutely good for the new season. They'll have a good start, and they'll probably tail off in the middle of the season, but then I think they'll pick it up. So I just think 14th is a good realistic shout for them. In 13th place, I'm going to go for Southampton. They had a poor season last season under their manager. He got the sack, and then Mark Hughes managed to steady the ship for the last 2 months, and they stayed up. And I think Mark Hughes is a good manager. He does get a little bit of unfair criticism. Stoke, yeah, he was the reason why they went down. But I think if Mark Hughes has a fresh season with Southampton, I think he can do good things with them. They're not exactly the most attractive clubs when it comes to getting big name players. They're very good at promoting from within youngsters. And I think a bit like Brighton, they'll be judged on winning their home games, and I think they'll do that. I think they've got a good squad, they've got experience in there, and I think Mark Hughes will try and keep them away from that relegation zone. Now in 12th place, I'm going to put ourselves, Newcastle United. I haven't really been convinced with our transfer window this summer. Mike Ashley promised, Rafa Benitez some money that would go and strengthen. We finished 10th last season, and yes, we have got a United squad, which I'm very confident about, but we still need a lot of strength and depth in that squad, and we're losing key players. We're both Fabian Shaw, who's technically the replacement for injured Lejeune, who was a pivotal centre back. Will cover alongside Jamal Lascelles. They had a good understanding. Now Shaw has got a little bit of a temper, a little bit of he's got a good fight in him, but he's one of them where you'll put yourself about in the wrong places and you'll get silly yellow and red cards, which I don't want to see. Obviously, we link with Rondon to replace Mitrovic. We just haven't spent enough money, but I think, again, a bit like Brighton, a bit like other teams down there, will be judged on winning games at St James's Park, which I think we'll do. I think we'll be fine. Rafa's got 1 year left his contract. I think it's going to be a lull season where I think Rafa will just see out his contract, be dignified. We'll win the games at home. We'll win a couple away from home. We'll get a couple of draws. And I think 12th place, we can't go wrong with that. In 11th place, I'm going to go with a newly promoted club in Fulham. I've been impressed with them, actually. They've bought some really good players this summer. Got promoted via the playoff final at Wembley. Signed Mitrovic, which I think is a key signing for them. They've got some pacey wingers such as Sessegnon. They've got Tom Kenny. They've got some good, bright young players there. And they've got wingers who can get a ball into Mitrovic, who likes to control his head, control his body. He's someone who likes to spin and hit the ball first time, and that's what he wants. He wants players run on the wings to cross a ball in for him, and Fulham have got that. They've got that pace, that flair. Craven Cottage is a tough place to go and to get results, and I think with their ambition of the manager, I think they could have a really good season. In 10th place, I'm going to go with Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, I've been impressed with them as well. Another club who's spent a lot of money. They brought the likes of Jan Martino in. I've been impressed with their pre-season. The manager's got ambition, the owner's ambitious, the crowd's all ambitious for the new season, which you can't go wrong with. And I think they're going to be a tough nut to crack. I think they're going to win a lot of games at Molineux. I think they'll win a few games away from home as well. I don't want to predict them too high because they're unknown to the Premier League. They're new. The squad, how is it going to adapt? But I think they're going to be very strong. I think they're going to beat a lot of teams comfortably next season. And I predict good things for Wolverhampton Wanderers going into the new season. Now, in 9th place, I'm going to go with Leicester City. I don't know. I mean, Riyad Mahrez for me wasn't a good move for them at all. I know he was unhappy. He wanted to move to Manchester City, which is fair enough. And they might be losing Maguire, which is a massive, problem if they do. He's a good centre back, had a really good World Cup with England. Leicester, they've been a very solid squad, since winning the Premier League under Ranieri a few seasons back. I was going to predict that they finished 7th, but because of lost Mahrez, I think they will win a lot of games at the King Power. I still think they'll be a tough nut to crack. I think, they will win a few games away from home. They have got a good, steady squad. Jamie Vardy, at the back, they've got Morgan, Casper Schmeichel. They'll be a good squad. They'll be up there. I think 9th place is realistic for them. So in 8th place, and missing out on Europe, I'm going to go for Everton. Now, Everton have just appointed a new manager in Marco Silva, the ex-Watford manager. Now, I think that's a really good move for Everton. He had such a good start at Watford, and I think he was harshly sacked, in my opinion. Everton, for me, I don't think they had the best season last season under Ronald Koeman. You know, it went completely wrong. Sam Allardyce wasn't playing the best football. And, you know, I've got nothing against Everton whatsoever. I think they've got a really good squad. They have had a bit of a disastrous pre-season, but when it comes to the Premier League, I still think they're going to be a tough nut to crack when a lot of teams face them. You know, they've always got a strong sort of way about them when they play at Goodison Park. You know, they do win a lot of games away from home, and they do get a few draws there and then. So I still think, you know, they're going to be good enough. Now, the reason why I don't put them in the European spot is because it's Marco Silva, a new squad, because of pre-season, but I'd like to be proved wrong. You know, they have got a good, you know, squad, and they've just signed Richarlison for £50 million, which I think is a big gamble for themselves. What can he do next season? That remains to be seen. And like I say, Wayne Rooney's left as well, which I think was a big thing for Everton. I know he only signed for a season, but I still think he would have been key. You know, if he could play alongside Richarlison, you know, he's got that experience in the Premier League. So let's wait and see what they do. In 7th place, I reckon it's going to be West Ham United. Now, West Ham have signed a lot of players this summer. They've also hired a manager, Manuel Pellegrini, who had such a good career at Man City, you know, winning the Premier League, should I say. You know, they've just signed the likes of Yarmolenko. They've signed 40 million on a player, I forgot who it was. But, you know, they had that protest last season and it seems to have worked out. And I've got high hopes for West Ham. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to win a lot of games at the Olympic Park. I think they're going to win a lot of games away from home as well. They're very solid at the back. You know, they've got a good midfield there, good strike force. You know, they can get Hernandez playing. He just needs that manager to sort of rejuvenate his career. I think he's a good player. West Ham are going to look a threat next season. I think they're going to be a tough enough team to beat, and I think they're going to be thereabouts next season. Now, in the top 6, let's look. So in 6th, I'm going to go for Manchester United. I haven't really been convinced with Manchester United over the course of this pre-season. They weren't great last season either under Mourinho. He's been whinging about, you know, he's wanted this, he's wanted that. It hasn't quite worked out this summer. Now, you know, they have got some really good players in the likes of Sanchez. You know, they've got Pogba, who had such a good World Cup. You know, they've got Martial, who's apparently maybe out the door. They've got a good squad, but it's whether or not, you know, Mourinho can get the money between now and next week, you know, to really bolster the squad, to get the players that he wants, you know, to really kick Manchester United on, you know, to try and be title contenders, because I don't see why they can't be. Man United are a big club, you know, full of history, you know, big support, always backed by the fans, and they've not had a great of late. Yes, they have won Europa League and League Cup, but Man United are known for winning things, you know, like big trophies. That just hasn't been the same. Obviously, they've got a week to try and sort it out. I think because the way it's going at the minute and there's not such a good vibe around the place, I think 6th place is probably a fair shout. 5th place, I'm going to go for Tottenham. Reason being, they haven't really signed anybody. The same squad, same manager, different stadium. It's going to be a bit like Wembley. You know, can they, you know, adjust to the new stadium? I think it's going to be a little bit like that at first, but I think once they start, you know, winning games at the new stadium, I think they'll start picking up results. You know, they have got some really good gifted players such as Harry Kane, you know, who's obviously always the Premier League top goal scorer. You've got Dele Alli, you know, you've got Eriksen. They've got a very good squad, but I just think the problem that they're going to have this season will be the stadium. Once they, you know, they get settled in there, I think, you know, they'll be in there. Tottenham are always there and thereabouts, and, you know, they've been really good over the course of their the last 5 seasons. Now, in 4th place to complete the top 4, when I work up, I'm going to go with Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, for me, under Conte, they weren't brilliant. I think he was harshly sacked, in my opinion. They have got a new manager in Sarri. Now, it's all about trying to get the best out of that squad. I think, again, there will be a tough team to beat at Stamford Bridge. They will, you know, win a few games away from home. Again, they'll draw a lot of games. But for me, it's all about stability now for Chelsea. You know, they've had a few ownership problems with Roman Abramovich. If they get that sorted out and get the players in that they want and really kick, you know, hit the ground running, I think they could, you know, finish higher than 4th. But we'll just have to wait and see. That's a very unpredicted team. If Sarri can get Chelsea playing, then you never know, they could be up there, you know, challenging for the league. In 3rd place, I'm going to go for Manchester City. Yeah, you're probably going to laugh at this. They won the league, you know, a record of 100 points. You know, blitzing every team away. In my opinion, you know, they've got quality. They've just signed Riyad Mahrez, Pep Guardiola, you know, winning the Premier League, which he's set out to do. Now, the reason why I put Man City 3rd is because I don't think they'll be focused on the Premier League this season. I think they'll be going for Champions League. You know, they've done well last season to get so far. But Man City, with the money that they're spending, and the ambition of the owners, you know, the facilities that they've got, the support, you know, that they will be challenging for Champions League, and that's what they'll be going for. They want to be up there, you know, for winning some of the best trophies in the world. You know, they've won the Premier League a few times now. They'll be going for the likes of the League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, and, you know, you want to be known for winning the Champions League. And I wouldn't blame Man City, you know, if they kind of put the league off and went for the Champions League. But you never know, they could do it again. You know, I'm not saying that they won't win the Premier League, but I just think this next season, so I keep saying, they will, you know, want to challenge for the Champions League, and they will want to go there and win it. In 2nd place, I'm going to go for Liverpool. A bit of a bold move for myself. I think they've had a good pre-season. You know, they've sent some really good players. Jurgen Klopp's got them playing. You know, they had a bit of a disastrous Champions League. You know, Karius obviously didn't play very well. He's obviously not going to be first choice next season. They just signed Alisson for over £60 million, which is a good deal for them. They've also signed Fabinho. Liverpool have got a very strong squad, and every time Liverpool seem to lose a player, they seem to replace him with an even better one. But like I say, if they can get Firmino playing, Mane playing, I think Liverpool, could go and win the Premier League next season at Anfield. But the team I'm going to go for, and you're all going to laugh, and I'll let you laugh at this, I'm going to go for Arsenal. I think Unai Emery, he's a different kettle of fish to Arsene Wenger. He signed the players that he wanted. He's won, the Europa League 3 times. Not many managers do that, to win the European Cup 3 times in a row. You'll say, yeah, it's the Europa League, but the teams that they've beaten in them 3 seasons and the things that he's won, I think Arsenal need that new name. They need that new leadership. They need that new squad because, like I say, Arsene Wenger, it was just an aging squad. It wasn't really going anywhere, and the season just gone. It was just fizzling out for them. And I think this season they're going to be a lot more ambitious. They have done well in pre-season. I shouldn't read into pre-season too much, but I've been really impressed with Arsenal over the course of pre-season. I think they could have a really good season. I think Emirates, they're going to have to win a lot of games. I think they will be a tough team to beat. Away from home, I still think they have got a lot of work to do again in the summer, but I still think they're going to be strong enough to win the league. Now, that is just my predictions for the new season. Let me know yours down below in the comments. Like I say, they're just my opinions. I know you'll have your own and you're probably going to laugh, but like I say, I don't really care. You put yours. It's all about your opinion. That's what the channel's about. It's all about engaging you guys, and like I say, I will go back to these positions at the end of the season, and like I say, I'm sure I'll be wrong. I'm probably, if not 75% of the predictions that I've done. Like I say, even with Newcastle, it's been a bit of a disaster for us in terms of the summer market. Anyway, like I say, there's going to be matchday experiences coming out on 100% NUFC. There's going to be Premier League predictions coming out as well. So there's going to be no more previews. It's going to be Premier League predictions where you put all of your 10 Premier League predictions for the weekend, and then what I'll do is I'll get back to you on the Monday or the Tuesday, depending on when the game's finished, whether it be a Sunday or a Monday. And if you get 5 predictions right out of 10, you'll get a shout out on the channel. I'll even screenshot it as well so people can see your channel and then go and subscribe as well. So like I say, it's all about engaging with new Premier League fans for the new season, gaining more interest as well, and trying to get the subscribers up. I want a 2,000 subscriber base by the end of the season. That's what I want to try and do. If I can do that, that would be absolutely brilliant. Now anyway, that's it, the window. That's the predictions done. Subscribe if you're new. It's been Sharky, and until the next one, hi the lads!